Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
First, we're going to start by giving infinite praise, honor, and glory to
Yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi, bahasham, qadash.
Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, teach well, through 100% truth and sincerity. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect, which in the ears of the Israelites and Israelite foreigners that were scattered amongst. To you and only to you, we say shalom.
Shalom.
It's your brother Aharon here from the Great Millstone DC branch. Got the brother Taza Doctor with me.
Shalom, shalom.
And you know, we're coming out to prophesy, you know, the downfall of this kingdom, to speak on the different things that are coming to pass, like the insurrection that is about to come upon the people, you know, in this city, man. You know, and ultimately amongst the world. Okay? You got it, bro.
Come. This is the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 15, verse 14, and it reads, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein."
So the Lord is telling you that destruction is coming upon this world, man. You know, and all you people that dwell within this world, trusting in this world, you know, trusting in the wicked rulers that ruleth over us, you know, woe unto you, you know. Since the world is your habitation and your covering stock, you know, you're going to be the ones that fall by the same thoughts and the same ways of this world, man. You got it, bro.
Come. 2 Ezra, chapter 15, verse 15. "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their princes, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power."
And this is what's going on, man. You know, they are not focusing in on what the Lord is saying. More so, they're ultimately seeing, you know, the troops coming in. You know, seeing the wicked rulers that rule over us. You know, and ultimately the Lord Yahawah bahasham yahawashi is He that's orchestrating these things. Like the scripture says, it shall be what? Sedition amongst men. You know, and I got that word sedition in the etymon online. It says rebellion, you know, uprising, revolt. This is about to come to pass, man. You know, you got these people that go against what the rulers are issuing out, because they're using unrighteous decrees to furthermore oppress the Lord's people. You know, they seek out to take your life away, to put you into concentration camps, you know, to send you off to places that you never know, you know, and it's about to be you know, attempt to overthrow civil authority. Okay? And this is why, you know, they're going to usher in the martial law troops, you know, or issue in that great insurrection amongst these people, man. You got it, bro.
2 Ezra, chapter 15, and I'll give verse 16 once more. "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city, and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid."
You got it.
Right, so like the bro Aharon is getting into, all right, essentially, you know, this division that's already been a key part of what Babylon the Great America is, now is actually coming to full fruition. It's manifesting that, you know, this place was founded upon division, but Esau, Edom, so-called white man, he's been able to use that to his advantage. You know, with his democracy, his two-party voting system. And like we always say, so I'm like, the apostles on down, we understand that this is the two horns like a lamb that spake as a dragon. We understand that no matter who you niggas would have voted for, whether they were Democratic or Republican, they all were designed to lead you into draconian law. And now we see the manifestation. We see the psyops ramping up more. It's not just because Trump is Republican. No, it's because this is the time that the Lord is basically cutting the work of Babylon short. You see, so we're in those times now where everything that leads to division of America, Babylon the Great, is going to be forced. It's going to be pushed by Yahawah bahasham yahawashi, putting the spirit in these Edomites to just go forward with being racist.
Yeah, man. And eventually they're going to start to send their troops by night, to usher in, the captivity, to take you, Jakes, from your households, to put you into these prisons, to store all the things that you're using. They're going to take it for their good, okay? All these different, people out here putting their mind to saving up and storing up, their treasures, and thinking that they're doomsday preppers and all those type of things. Understand that that's not going to save you in that time. When the troops come marching in, you're going to have, terror by night, You're going to have arrows flying from one end of the world to the next end of the world. And we know what the modern day arrow is now. You're going to have these so-proclaimed, thermonuclear missiles being shot from these different countries to what? To have United Snakes of America, okay, as the target. And these missiles are not going to miss its mark. Because this is what the prophecy of yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi is telling you. Okay? Because what? They made all nations drink of the wine of her fornication.
Yep.
Right? And when it comes down into it, this is why the Lord is going to cause them to come in like a flood. Because you've been hand in hand with the wicked. You agreed with everything that they had decreed, had put out for you to do.
Yep.
So now in the time of trouble, you're gonna trust in the devil, man, and it's gonna show how much he's your enemy. So quick one, if you had more on that.
Yeah, I do.
Well, you got it, bro.
Got it.
Before I grab this.
2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse. Yeah, I'm gonna give verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another.
Yeah.
They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation.
Got it.
Right? So, it's straightforward. We get into a time where, once again, any of these divisions, like we keep saying it, but we want you hopeful elect brothers to really understand how serious this is. Any division, because we see it on these different news stories, things that like people they crash out over a difference in opinion about food. So now it's like the more serious differences of opinions and philosophies and belief in Babylon and Great is going to result in life or death clashes. Like that, like Brothers and Elders are showing that clip from that movie Civil War. I finally got a chance to see it earlier myself, where a dude basically asked him, all right, what is he? He said, I'm an American. He said, okay, but what kind of American? So yeah, it's going to be more, red and blue is going to reach its final form of conflict. All right, it really is going to be life or death. Like basically on some gangster break yourself. Like, hey, what set you claim type shit. Like it's going to be, are you Democratic or Republican? Are you red wing, left wing? I mean, right wing, left wing. Are you this or you that? So you see all these different things is going to cause a man to have no pity upon his neighbor. Like we always tell Jake, your neighbor for us is our fellow Israelite. So, but for you Babylonians, your neighbor is anybody who's an American citizen. So the law's going to put it like, hey, look, fucking Patel down the street, the Elam, the East Indian nigga down the street, who, Esau never liked, he going to start playing with him. Esau is going to start putting shit to death. And that's kind of what I saw in that clip. As soon as the dude said he was from Hong Kong, Esau said, boom.
Without even thinking, right?
It was in this crazy part is, it was a whole ditch of dead bodies of niggas they had that they already did it to. They probably spent the past hours doing this to motherfuckers that walked up to him for help and shit.
Yeah, and this is that insurrection is about to come. But what Jake is thinking is fun and games party season.
Yep.
On our way up here to create the video, the pistol, you saw what Jake's lined up in these club lines. Downtown is full of what folly. It's nothing to them because what the terror is not at their doorstep yet.
Yep.
But it's about to come down to it, to a time period which you've never seen before. And the Lord told us what? To not be afraid. Okay? So a quick one. This is Psalms 91:5. It says, thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrows that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. You know, we're preparing ourselves for the things that are about to come through the wisdom, knowledge, understanding of yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi. Whether it's, you know, the martial law troops, you know, the insurrection of men, you know, the sedition amongst men. You know, whether it's a thermonuclear missile strike inbounds, man. You know, we have that covering because what? We trust in yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi. And who have ever trusted in the Lord, yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi, and was confounded? These are the things that you have to ask yourselves, because it's about to come down to a time wherein you're going to have mass slaughters, like the brother was just saying. How they project in these movies, you know, they project these mass slaughters, man. You know, they murder Jake, and have no one to ask questions about it, unless you want to be a part of that number, man. To be cut off just like them, right? So like the scripture says, Psalms 91:7, 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. You know, you're going to have people being cut off. It could be your brother, your sister, your mother, man. You know, your so-called childhood friend. You know, Esau's going to come in like a flood and take them down, man. You know, if you see on the camera right now, you know, you got these people riding their bikes, you know, observing these different so-proclaimed memorials of this world. You know, the things is that the Lord, yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi, is about to destroy all this, man. And all you that trust in, you know, the devil himself, they're going to be totally cut off too, man. All right? Got a little bit more. It says, Psalms 91:7 again, 1,000 shall fall at thy right hand, or thy right side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. You know, the wicked's about to be cut off and die, man. All right? They're about to be put through, you know, derision. They're about to be caused to truly, you know, get that reward of death and destruction, which in like they issue out. You know, they set these traps for the Israelites and the Israelite foreigners to be oppressed, you know, causing them to continuously err. You know, and the men of the Lord hate this place, man. We're tired of it, because what, we have to continuously, you know, go through the oppression from our enemies.
Be vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked.
Right? And we understand that the only refuge that we have in this place is yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi. Okay, so Psalms 91:9 says, because thou hast made the Lord, yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi, which is my refuge, even the Most High thy habitation, there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. Okay? So whether they're coming in like a flood, you know, whether they're putting Jakes to death, man, whether there's no food, we understand who our strong habitation is. And our strong habitation is yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi, which is going to be our covering in that day. But you got it, bro.
Okay. I had a precept to back you with that point you just made. St. Matthew chapter 7, I'm going to get verse 24. In the supplement it says the two foundations. And it reads, therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon that house. And it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. Right? So, you know, like the bro is saying, you know, this gets into how, you know, the men of the Lord are going to go through the exact opposite from what the 2/3 of our people are going to go through. We're not going to go through wondering what's going to happen next, what's going to this, what's going to that. No, yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi has us, because we took the words that he gave us seriously. We actually saw the kingdom as precious. We saw the counsel of the Lord as precious. We saw the reproof, the rebuke, all these things as precious, way beyond, you know, the alternative of raging like the fool that passeth on is punished, you know, losing the Holy Spirit, and then stuck out here in the worst time in history with no spiritual protection, no spiritual power, no nothing, and no faith. And the Lord made it clear that basically he was raising Esau up, like the elder said. the yahawah gave Esau all this power so that there would be no humanly possible way of taking them down, so that the children of Israel will be forced to lean on faith. Mm-hmm. So if you basically throwing that away, you throwing away the only real weapon you have against being a perpetual Edomite slave, and in the case of some of these women, concubines. Yeah. You see, but you got it all.
You know, and this is the warning that's going out from the Lord, you know, by mouth, you know, of the prophets, man. Mm-hmm. You know, he made known unto the prophets the things that are about to come. And what? He told us to be the watchmen over the house of Israel. If we can grab that, Baba Kasham.
Come.
You know,
Ezekiel 3?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Well, Ezekiel 33:6.
Let me try 33:6, like you said. 33:6.
No, we have been made the watchmen to what? To stand up, you know, upon that tower, who is the strong tower? Yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi, man. You know, and warn his people. You got it, bro.
Come. This is Ezekiel chapter 33, and I'm gonna give verse 6, and it reads, "But if the watchman see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people..."
Start at one more.
Right, verse 5.
Set you as watchmen over the house of Israel.
Yeah, that's another one. I think that's probably chapter 3.
Okay.
We get that?
Yeah, let's grab that.
Okay. Ezekiel chapter 3, and I'm gonna give verse 18, I believe. Let me see. Yep. Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 17. And it reads, "Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word at my mouth, and give them warning from me."
So this is something that's going out from Yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi. We're not just coming out here in our own vain, you know, thought process. You know, like the Lord said, man, the carnal mind is enmity unto Yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi. So why would we come out here and go into our own thought process instead of what? Using the scriptures to outline our walk, to outline our speech, you know? When we're going out here to warn the lost sheep of the house of Israel what's about to come, why wouldn't we use the words of truth, right? You got it, bro.
Come. This is Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 18?
Come.
Verse 18. "When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand."
And this is why the men of the Lord are going out and doing what the Lord told us, man. Stand upon our watch. Because what? We're by observing the news, observing and reporting, we understand that it's about to be a time period of insurrection.
Yep.
You know? The funds are becoming obsolete. You know? It's a lack of bread in the streets, man.
Exactly.
You know? The money is being bought low. Like the brother bought out at camp earlier today, you know. This is the first time that the gold has been set, you know, at 4,000, you know, 4,000 for each, I forget the exact terminology for it, but a piece of gold or the gold source is set at 4,000 right now, you know, which it has never made it to, you know, the value. And this is why the dollar is being bought low. They said inside of 2025 itself, you know, 10% or 11%, you know, of the value of the dollar has been bought lower, man. You know, and it's going to continuously go down. This is why you should be trusting in Yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi, because what? You have all these people going to put their funds, transferring their funds from in the dollar to what? Into gold. And it's still not going to help you in that time of trouble, man. All right? You got it, bro.
Come. Ezekiel chapter 3, and I'm going to get verse 19. "Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul."
So we're warning, you know, the people that what? Going down into Egypt for help is not going to help you.
Right.
You know? If anything, if you trust in Pharaoh, you know, Pharaoh should be your let me get that, man. Isaiah 31. I'm gonna grab that right quick.
Okay. It might be Isaiah 30, if I'm not mistaken.
God. Yeah, Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 1 through 3, it says, "Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord yahawashi, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin." Right? You know, they trust in all things but yahawashi. You know? But when the warning is going out, like at camp earlier today, you had Jake's, riding past scoffing. You know, people don't want to hear the warning of the things that are about to come, which the Lord is telling you that, perilous times are about to hit this place, man. Insurrection is about to come upon you people. Sedition amongst men, chaos, uproars of the people, earthquakes in diverse places, man. But what? It's so fun and games, and it's just laughing giggles to certain people, right? And it says that walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked in my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, to trust in the shadow of Egypt. These people trust in, the modern day Sodom and Egypt. Because what? They can add sin unto sin. They can live deliciously. The delicacies of this world, they think that that's going to save them, man. But the scripture tells you, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. They're going to be confused when the enemy comes in like a flood, and they thought that they was on their side, man. All right? You got it, bro.
God. More on Ezekiel?
We hit all the points again? Let's hit second address 16. Just to touch bases on that insurrection, because this is what's about to come upon these people. Because what? They're trusting in Esau, thinking that their enemy is on their side, and ultimately these things that are being spoken on is of these perilous times that the Lord prophesied and forewarned us on. All right, you got it, bro.
Second Ezra chapter 16 verse 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols.
Yeah, man. They're going to make you line up to receive that mark, to receive the charagma. Otherwise they're going to, cause it all, both small, great, rich, and poor, to either be in reception of their mark, or to be put to death, man, or put into concentration camps. Waiting out your judgment from these wicked people. Right? You got it, bro.
Second Ezra chapter 16, and I'm going to get verse 69. And they shall consent unto him, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot.
Yeah, man. You go ahead and be in consent with the wicked. And see how much he's really on your side. Right. He's gonna cause a lot of you Jakes to be mowed down, man. Because Jake think that they're gonna trust in their sword. Well, Esau is the true sword, man. He's gonna put a lot of you people down, and the ones that do comply with them, they're gonna put you into concentration camps, man.
Right.
Or he's gonna line you up to receive that mark, cutting you off from Yahawah's people.
Never trust thine enemy.
Right? You got it, bro.
Second Ezra chapter 16 verse 70. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord Yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi.
Like we was just saying, bro, it takes no time to get from D.C. to Virginia, crossing over that one bridge, but eventually they're not going to be able to go across that bridge. They're not going to be able to go from one part of the city to the next part of the city. It's going to come down to it that you Jake's going to finally understand that, what the Lord Yahawah was saying is the truth, and this is all that you can have, man. He told you, in the book of 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1, this know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. Right? That word perilous go into evils, and this is what the Lord Yahawah is telling you. That evil times are about to come upon you people, man. You know, it's not going to be all fun and games, laughing, giggles, partying. You know, like Jake always in the mind state of party and bullshit.
Constantly.
You know? Just like in the days of Noah. You know, the ark was being built up. You know, they were putting their hand into drinking, eating, marriage, right?
Right.
Until the ark doors were sealed up. You know, and that's another thing. Let's look up that word sealed in the atham online, because that is a beautiful thing that the Lord has caused us to be able to understand. Right? Where is that at? So like if I get it up. If you got something, you can bring it out, bro.
Okay. 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 70. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord Yahawah. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord Yahawah. They shall for they shall waste and take away their house. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. Yeah, so, you know, the point is, once again, it's going to be an insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. But the difference between the servants of Yahawah and the 2/3 is that the Lord will allow the brothers to go through certain things to strengthen them even further and to confirm their souls as his disciples, because it's written, through much tribulation we shall enter into the kingdom. But the 2/3 of our people, they're going to be going through the tribulation just because the Lord is having a field day, basically humiliating them. Because too many of our people, they move in the same proud spirit as these Edomites, but they don't even have the complexion for the protection, so to speak. So Jake thinks that everything's everything and that they're at one with the beast as long as they don't stay on the beast's nerves. Well, you know, that's not how the Lord Yahawah designed Esau. He's gonna attempt to put all of you Jakes to death while he has the chance, because like it says, he knows they have but a short time. So he knows he has but a short time. That means he knows he doesn't have long to continue with the same shenanigans. You see?
Yeah, man. And what's about to come upon these people, you know, it's about to be a very, very time period which they've never seen before. And they thinking that it's gonna be fun and games until it's too late, man. Yahawah is not coming to play with you Jakes. He's coming to what? To put you Jakes into derision. You know, he's causing the enemy to come in and cause sedition amongst men. You know? Only those that trust in Yahawah shall be sealed up and covered, man. Right? You got it, bro.
Let me see. 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 73. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord Yahawah. Behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. But verse 75, be not afraid, neither doubt, for Yahawah is your guide and the guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts, saith the Lord Yahawah. Let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves.
Yeah, man. Let you not follow after the wicked to do these things, but ultimately seek out to be sealed up, you know, through Yahawah, man. Because he's going to be our covering in that time. All right? I found that word sealed, you know, in the blue letter. And it says,
Strong's G 4972. Sfragizo.
So Sfragizo. And it says, you know, that's the word seal. It says to set a seal upon, to mark with a seal, to seal, right? For security from Satan. You know? We're trying to be covered and protected from our enemy, man. Which end we understand that Esau is that counterpart of Satan himself, man. You know, working out the left-hand side. Putting, like it said, ye are of your father the devil. You know? This is what our enemy is based upon. This is that lawless enemy that has no type of godliness in him, man, other than him trying to portray and play as God, right? So when he comes in like a flood, you're going to need to be sealed up through yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi, right? And it says, since things sealed up are concealed as the content of a letter to hide, to keep in silence, and to keep secret. You know, it says, in order to mark a person or a thing, to set a mark upon by the impress or seal or stamp. You know, it says, angels are said to be sealed by yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi. You know, and what? We are those messengers sent out, angels, you know, that are seeking to be sealed by yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi. Because what? We're trying to prove ourselves now, man. Alright? Continuing on in the definition, it says, in order to prove, confirm, or attest a thing, to confirm or authenticate, to place beyond doubt. It says to prove one's testimony to a person that he is what he professed to be. And we professing to be, you know, Yasharala, man, the princes of power. So when the Lord yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi sends the enemy in, you know, like a flood, you know, we're going to still put on as who we say we are, man.
Right.
Right? And Lord's willing, when the Lord yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi raised that standard up, we're able to partake in His spiritual power. You know, seeking to be sealed up, called into the chariots of the Lord, to escape these things that are about to come upon this place, man. Because death and destruction is on the horizon. Martial law troops are on the horizon. You know, all types of chaos and things that you can't control are about to hit this place. Right? You got any closing pre, bro?
No, that was it.
Okay. Let's hit that woe to the world and them that dwell therein one more time.
Oh yeah, come on. 2nd Ezra chapter 15, and that's going to be verse 14.
Yeah.
And it reads, woe to the world and them that dwell therein.
Yeah, and the Lord's telling you that destruction is about to come upon this place.
Mm-hmm.
Just like in Sirach 10, verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
If we can grab that. Because this is what's going on right now in front of the Lord's people's eyes, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Lord's transitioning the power from one to the next. You know, like the scripture's about to say. All right, you got it, bro.
Come. Sirach, but known as Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, verse 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches gotten by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
So all these things which they have built their kingdom up upon, you know, it's been all off of robbery, lies, stealing, you know, murder, bloodshed, right?
Yeah.
So how much more on their last leg, you know, of their rulership, you know, like it says, you know, dwell ye heavens and them that dwell therein, you know, knowing that they have a short time, you know. Esau, man, your time is up, man. You know, Babylon, the land of confusion, your time is up. You know, but before it's up, man, they're about to come in like a flood and send forth all types of things upon you, man. And if you jakes haven't been storing up your faith and building up yourselves to withstand in that day, you should be caught like a thief in the night. Alright? You got more than that, bro? What's the end of that?
Nah, I got more than that. Sirach, but known as Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, verse, I'm going to give verse 9. Why is earth and ashes proud? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man. For such an one setteth his own soul to sale, because while he liveth, he casteth away his bowels.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, so basically, you know, like, this is chiefly talking about Esau, even the so-called white man. All right, and even his philosophies, it's a poison to anybody that listens to it and takes it as truth, like 2/3 of our people. Because, you know, this is the same individual in the spirit, because bros was talking about it. This nigga still got lentils on the mind. You know, this is a nigga that sold eternal life and dominion and spiritual power for raw, uncooked meat and some lentils, bro. You can't. This dude right here, yes, he's petty. Everything he does, like it said in the above verse, it's going to be unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches gotten by deceit. Our riches.
Yeah.
So nothing that you say, no way you deal with him is going to end you up in the true power seat. He wants you to stay on the bottom. He's not going to give up. He's not going to give up calling himself the chosen people. He's not going to acknowledge that you aren't, so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, that you actually the children of Israel. No. He's petty like that. He's not going to give you anything that can give you the one up. So you have to be in that spirit of tapping into yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi, because the Lord is our power for a reason. We don't need to wait for the approval of these devils to get power if the Lord is the one laying out that executive order. But yeah, Esau, look, man, he's proud. He's not designed to bring in longevity, to keep life going. He operates in death. That's why everything we see is a society that's based upon, oh, well, if I got to make money as a doctor, I got to rip you off by selling you so-called, let's say, whatever, the prescriptions that supposed to help a problem, but it ends up giving you 4 more problems. To make it in big business, you have to find a way to creatively screw people over while convincing them that you're helping them. Yeah. Everything here is going back to what it said: unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches gotten by deceit. Because even when he's not physically injuring you, you messing up somebody's money. The scripture says you're a bloodshedder. Yeah. You see, so he's going to keep shedding your blood by taking your money. What did Trump say recently? Oh, they're going to furlough these government workers, and he's like, I don't feel like some of them should even get paid while they're off. He wants some of these essential workers to come back to work right now while the government figures it out, and they're going to work for free.
Yeah, that's just like these National Guards on the corners.
Mm-hmm.
They're protecting or, upholding the things that have been issued out, right? With no pay.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that, Ark, because thinking about it, that's also part of the powder cake. That's also going to be a part of the insurrection, because you already got one portion of the military not fucking with Trump and Pete Hegseth because of that dumbass speech. Mm-hmm. And now the other portion of it, it's going to be probably, who knows, Lord, only yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi knows. It may be a portion of some of these National Guard troops that's stationed in these different major cities. Half of them might turn against their brothers in arms right now because, like, man, we working for free. Like, everything that's happening right now is the Lord putting the spirit on these Egyptians to err in every work. You see, and it's the pride that they have that makes them feel like because they got away with oppressing the Lord's people so far, they're going to continuously always be able to do it. Mm-hmm. But it's over with, man. Like, the Lord has them basically making irreversible death moves against themselves. Like, you can't come back from this. Like, that Mortal Kombat harakiri. The Lord got these Edomites basically deleting themselves. These are not moves that you can heal from, bro. They're done.
The traps that they set for the poor, they fall right into the same traps that they set.
Yep.
This is why in Revelations 12:12, it says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. He knows that he's circling the drain. He's like that last turd that won't flush. But they know that they're about to go down. Mm-hmm. That's Esau, man. And what the men of the Lord, are vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked, man.
Right.
These unrighteous decrees that they can't, sleep unless they plan to furthermore oppress the Lord's people, man.
Yep.
But you got anything else, bro?
No, that was it.
Lord's willing, it's an edifying lesson, against these devils, man, that seek out the lives of the Lord's men. Because it starts with the men first, and then you women and children that follow after those men.
Spoils of war.
Right? So hopefully, it's an edifying lesson, and we continuously be protected when these things start to come to pass, right?
Right.
And may the Lord yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi continuously bless us. We want to end off by saying Kal Halalyam,
yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi, bahasham, qadash.
Shanya Kabah, Gawala Rakwab, Zaquanya now Ba'aith. Shalom, and you brothers, man, continuously fight the good fight of faith, man. Endure all hardness as a good soldier, because what? The reward for the righteous is far more exceeding than what's about to come upon the wicked.
Yep.
All right? So, shalom.
Shalom.